on. He's not got a great record here. He'll be desperate to try and change that. We know what a good record he's got at the Hawthorns and prior to that at the Bet365. He'll be desperate to change that. He'll be trying something different, I'm sure.
Well, I think he's going to have to change the formation of his side. It looks like he has with the players he's picked for the game. I can't see him changing his game plan though, Dan. He's always been I'm not going to concede man first and try and take advantage of set pieces or play on the break. I don't think that will change tonight. I don't think he can afford to change that because he will take a battering if he does. However, he has got that record hanging over him, but I don't think that will worry Tony Pulis. You know, he'll go out and try and grind out a result with the team he's got here tonight. There'll be men behind the ball for long periods of the game. Arsenal will dominate possession, and it will be down to Alexis and Lacazette and Aaron Ramsey to open and unlock the West Brom back 9 or 10 possibly.
It's interesting to see how West Brom line up here. We thought that they might be a back five, and it looks that way, doesn't it? Because we've got Kieran Gibbs on the left-hand side, Alan Neum over on the right-hand side, and then a back three of Dawson, Hegazi and Johnny Evans. We haven't seen West Brom play three centre-halves that often this campaign. They played four at the back in a regulation formation against West Ham last time out. So they're trying something a little bit different here. I always feel, though, unless you get those full-backs bombing forward, it does tend to pull Arsenal onto you a little bit, doesn't it? Yeah,
and I'm talking of the full-backs, just looking at this side, what a tantalising little battle we've got on. Kieran Gibbs against Bellerin. I mean, it's probably happened loads of times in training, but, you know, they'll know a lot about each other, and I think Bellerin will keep Gibbs quite deep in this game.
Do you know, what a fascinating little matchup. It's right in front of our commentary position as well here. And I tell you what, Hector Bellerin, we know how quick he is. Kieran Gibbs is no slouch. We've seen that over the years. He is not a slow player.
He's not a slow player, but what I think he has got an advantage over Hector Bellerin is he's a slightly better defender. So he will be able to absorb Hector pushing him back. Be interested to see what he does offensively, though.
Just a quick reminder of the Arsenal lineup for you. The Gunners with Petr Cech in goal, back three of Monreal, Koscielny and Mustafi. Looks like it's going to be Mustafi, the middle of the trio. Kolasinac on the left-hand side, Bellerin on the right, Xhaka and El Neni as your midfielders, with Alexis and Aaron Ramsey off Alex Lacazette. Now, I'm going to be fascinated to get your thoughts on Aaron Ramsey here, because I said in the pre-match show it's his favourite position. It's not really, because he's going to have to offer a little bit of width, isn't he, on the right-hand side? It's not as if he's playing sort of centrally as a sort of 4-2-3-1. He's going to have to come out wide right just a little bit. Yeah,
he's definitely going to have to offer that option a few times, because it's going to be too difficult for Alexander Lacazette. But we've just seen him pick the ball up off of Lacazette as well. Yeah, well, as soon as the ball gets switched out to Hector Bellerin, because Aaron Ramsey had picked the ball up off of Lacazette on the left-hand side, Hector Bellerin straight away isolated over here on a long pass. So yes, Aaron Ramsey will have to try and split himself, if you like, between that supporting the forward role and supporting Hector Bellerin.
Alexis Sanchez coming forward on the left-hand side. The ball just gets taken off his toes and it's out for a corner. That's Hegazi with the defensive work. West Brom are fostering goal. Back three, as we mentioned, Evans, Hegazi and Dawson. Neum right-hand side, Gibbs left-hand side, Barry, Krychowiak, Livermore in midfield, and Jay Rodriguez and Hal Robson-Kanu. Nominally, as a forward two, I think Rodriguez is going to play a little bit further forward than Robson-Kanu, but we'll wait and see. Early corner here for the Gunners on the left-hand side, and it will be taken, curled in towards that near post area. It's nodded away by Hal Robson-Kanu as far as Hector Bellerin. Now it's with Mohamed El Neni on the right-hand side, looking for Mustafi. Can he whip the ball in? He can. It's good delivery. Well, it's nodded away by Dawson on that occasion. Kolasinac will feed it back in, but it's overhit, and it's going to bounce to this near side. And Kieran Gibbs, who knocks it long, wants to try and hit Jay Rodriguez. The ball will dip towards Gareth Barry. Premier League appearance 633 for Gareth Barry, looking to get the better of an Arsenal side for the 9th time in his career. Late 90s, as we mentioned before, in his Aston Villa days. He won first couple of games against Arsenal, but not too many after that, only the 6. And we know how much experience he's got, but as you were mentioning before, David, the legs have gone to a certain extent, haven't they? He's 36 now.
They have gone, but in some ways this game will suit him, because they're being forced to recover a lot, West Brom, and they're not going forward and then recovering, they're just working their way across the pitch defensively. So for him, a sitting defensive position today won't involve much running, I don't think. It'll just be a case of filling holes.
Free kick here to Arsenal. Our referee is Bobby Madley tonight, and he signalled that Alexis was caught just a couple of yards outside the West Brom penalty area over on the left-hand side. In fact, it's a little bit further in than I thought. It's only, what, a yard and a half outside the box. And standing over this one, Granit Xhaka and Alexis. Alexis looking to try and tee this one up potentially just outside the area. West Brom with a four-man wall, plenty back. Arsenal supporters looking to try and lift their team. It is Alexis, it's a decent hit, and it's just wide of the target. That was close.
Yeah, I think Ben Foster was glad to see that go past that left-hand upright. Didn't really make much of a movement from it. Yeah, only a foot wide. Gets lots of whip and curl, but the reason he got that free kick was getting in between the defensive lines of West Brom. That's what we said he has to do. Not play too deep, get the ball just on the other side of the midfield players. As soon as you're doing that, they've got to try and make challenge, have a nibble at you, and he's too quick for them.
3 goals in his last 3 appearances against West Brom for Alexis Sanchez, incidentally. The game here, not last season, but the season before, Alexis Sanchez managed a brace, and West Brom were dismissed by 2-0. Let's see what Neom can do over on the right-hand side. Saw his debut for Watford, Neom, against Everton a few years ago. He looked very, very good. I'm surprised that he didn't last there. But he's come to West Brom. He's got a lot of pace and muscle about him. Can make the odd mistake. Positionally, there's maybe a little bit of a question mark, but there's no doubt that he can get forward, and he's a big unit as well. He's in the Tony Pulis mould, isn't he, you would suggest? Yeah,
he looks like he can romp forward when needed. And players like that are ones to watch today. Players breaking from the midfield who can exploit maybe an Arsenal attack when Arsenal have pushed 1 or 2 many players forward. So Arsenal got to keep a close eye on players like that.
West Brom punt it long. It's cleared away once again. Jazz from London's been on, says, hope Kieran Gibbs leaves us alone tonight. Arsenal to win 3-0. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? We've seen Kieran progress through the youth ranks. Played in that very good FA Youth Cup side a good few years ago now before progressing up through the ranks. He was a winger when he was a youngster, when he was 14, 15, converted into a left-back, won England caps, FA Cup winner, of course, with Arsenal as well, and offered an awful lot, and very nice young man. And sometimes people used to suggest to me that that was a little bit of the problem. He needed to be a bit more aggressive.
Yeah, I think to be one of the great players, you need an edge and you need a USP. And a lot of the time it can be an attitude, an aggression, or a style of play where you enforce yourself on other teams. I think that's just where his game ended. He'd get all the way up into a situation when you're thinking, go on, Kieran, really, push yourself now, and then he plays safe. But in saying that, great defender, great servant to the club, and I think it's a good move for him.
So no goals so far. We've had 6.5 minutes, and we'll keep you up to date, obviously, as the game goes on. But if you want to join in, you're more than welcome. studio@arsenal.co.uk if you want to send us your thoughts. This is Ramsey back towards Koscielny, and Mustafi just outside of his own penalty area. I've not asked you actually, David, because we've only seen it for a couple of games, about Mustafi playing in the centre of the back three. I think that's a massive help for Arsenal, because Koscielny, good as he is, and I'm always going to say he's Arsenal's best defender, certainly best centre half, not the most vociferous, as we see Lacazette look for Ramsey, then he runs into Hegazi, and I just sense that Mustafi may be a bit better organiser. He looks to try and get back here as Rodriguez looks to get forward. An opportunity maybe for West Brom inside the penalty area, and eventually the shot fired in, hits the post, and the follow-up here is pushed wide. The referee thought about pointing to the spot, certainly, when Jay Rodriguez appeared to have been taken down by Shkodran Mustafi. However, Bobby Madley let play on, saw nothing wrong with it, and eventually the follow-up was put wide. David, what did you think?
Yeah, he did. I mean, Rodriguez gets the wrong side of Mustafi, doesn't he? And it's a really good inside Cruyff turn. Can't see whether he really caught him, but I agree with you. It looked like Bobby Madley allowed play to carry on, which is why no penalty was given.
Oh, it's a penalty.
Definitely a penalty. There's a take on his standing leg there. I can only assume that because he's allowed play to go on.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah.
The thing is with that, though, Dan, you sometimes
I like that. I don't. But you see, it works in our favour.
You see referees allow play to go on, and when it doesn't come off for the team that will having the advantage play, sometimes they drag it back to that opportunity. So he had the opportunity to drag it back for a penalty then if he wanted as well, the referee.
He could have done, but look, you know, it's a goal-scoring opportunity. He hits the post and then it comes back out and the second shot's flashed wide. So the denial of a goal-scoring opportunity wasn't actually there.
So if he hadn't hit the post and he duffed it into the ground and it had only dribbled 2 yards to the right, and then Cech had picked it up, would he then have given a penalty?
Well, I wouldn't have done, but I can see that happens sometimes.
So as long as you can manage it consistently, then I'm fine with it. I'm fine with that, as you know.
I think if Rodriguez stays on the deck and doesn't get back up, he gives the pen.
Yeah, oh, he's in no doubt he has done Arsenal a favour by staying on his feet there, because he thought, like all good forwards do, I'd rather score the goal than have the penalty, you know?
Yeah.
That's the right thing to think. Fair play to him.
It's a terrible timing for bigging up Shkodran Mustafi as well, wasn't it, by me?
The curse.
The absolute curse. Is he better suited, which is an awful question now, is he better suited to playing the middle of the back three or not?
Not when someone makes a run across him. I think the trouble you've got in a centre of a back three, if Koscielny is drawn short into the midfield, it does leave an awful big space. So you are going to get players be able to run you in the channel. It's about standing up on your feet, not committing to a challenge. You've got to remember he was in the box then. I think probably a bad decision. A good defender would have stayed on his feet, tried to hustle him a bit and stand his ground. But in saying that, it's a really good sharp turn by Rodriguez. You know, really good footwork, very difficult to defend.
He's had his injury issues, as we know, Jay Rodriguez. He managed to force his way into the England setup a few years ago now. He has played once for the full national side, had that awful injury at Southampton, and he's never really been the same player since then. Signed West Brom at the start of the campaign. He has scored twice this season, only once in the Premier League, but he has got quality. This is Koscielny, knocks it all the way back towards Petr Cech. Stephen Miller has been on. So, Saidan, hope you and David are doing well. We're all expecting masses of goals against Doncaster, so it would be really great to thrash West Brom tonight, but just grind out, not just grind out another routine win. Here's to Giroud making the century and going beyond. Yeah, let's hope we don't need him, but even as early as this, you sense it might be a longish evening. Let's hope not. Arsenal coming forward, Kolasinac on the left-hand side. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. And Mohamed El Neni, 35 yards away from goal, chips it forward. Hector Bellerin inside the box. The flicked header from Ramsey's just over the crossbar.
Yeah, it's good play from Arsenal, isn't it? Switch the play with El Neni out to Bellerin. It's a good first-time delivery from Bellerin. This is a nice little chip, just onside Bellerin. It's a decent little delivery, but it's not getting quite over Ramsey, and he takes the opportunity to try and put it in the near post. It's not too far away. Just having a look at that penalty as well. Yeah, it's definitely a pen, but it's a good finish, isn't it? By Rodriguez. Oh, it's a good hand as well by Cech. What a good fingers. What good fingers on that, yeah. Just lucky it didn't fall out to Kanu, who was following in.
West Brom have possession central midfield at the moment. This is back towards Dawson. And moves forward over the halfway line, chips it forward to the left-hand flank. Hal Robson-Kanu looks to control. It's hooked away by Hector Bellerin. And Kieran Gibbs with a shot. It's wide of the target. Got hold of that one, Kieran.
Yeah, his first little foray forward, supporting Robson-Kanu there. Interesting as well, West Brom are pushing two players on. I didn't expect that. I thought they would have had one work in the forwards and maybe Robson-Kanu just sitting off. But they're trying, as the game stands, to apply pressure to Arsenal in their own half at the moment. Spread right out over the pitch, though, I must say, which looks dangerous. So really we need to get Granit Xhaka on the ball, getting the ball into Lacazette down the middle of the pitch when we can, drawing West Brom in and then using our wing-backs.
137 Premier League appearances for Arsenal, Kieran Gibbs, only the 2 goals. Lacazette flicks it on to Ramsey. That's a good play from Johnny Evans to knock it back here for Ben Foster. 2 former Manchester United players will look to clear. How Robson-Kanu tries to flick it on. Barry just runs into Koscielny. Referee lets it go. This is Kieran Gibbs. Now it's with Evans in field. That's a bit short, but Livermore's done well. However, he can only knock it forward to Mustafi. And now it's with Alexis Sanchez over on the left-hand side. We've had 13 minutes at the Emirates Stadium. It is Arsenal 0, West Brom 0. West Brom have hit the post after a penalty possibly should have been awarded. The referee allowed play to continue. Jay Rodriguez curling effort was tipped onto the woodwork by Petr Cech. Closest we've come to a goal so far. Keep the emails coming in. studio@arsenal.co.uk. Do you like the lineup tonight? Do you think we're a little bit shy of game changers? Would you have played Ozil instead of Elneny? How do you see it? studio@arsenal.co.uk. Ben Foster, he's taking his time already. We've had 13.5 minutes. Crikey. Surely he's not time wasting inside the opening quarter of an hour.
I don't know if it's so much time wasting. I think Pulis uses it as a frustration for the other side as well. Just another way to niggle at you, try and get an advantage over you, unsettle you, take your focus away.
Koscielny looking for Bellerin. Koscielny again. Ricochets out off Kieran Gibbs for a throw into Arsenal. Right back position, which Hector Bellerin will take. And the Spaniard, who we spoke to ahead of tonight's game, of course, will play it back towards Petr Cech. Under a little bit of pressure here from Livermore. It's cleared long by Cech. Evans lets it bounce behind him in full knowledge that Hegazi is there. Now it's with Barry to swing it forward once again. The flag has stayed down here as West Brom look to make progress, but Jay Rodriguez can't quite flick it to a teammate. Then Arsenal give it away. This is Neal, shoulder to shoulder with Kolasinac. He just bounces off Kolasinac, tries to win it back, but the Bosnian is too strong and too good.
Yeah, he is, and he's just a tank when you hit him like that. And Neon, as we mentioned, he's no slouch when it comes to the physicalities. He's a 6-foot-pluser and a strong boy. He's just bounced off Said there.
Throw into West Brom, who started fairly promisingly here. Kieran Gibbs is going to try and launch this one inside the penalty area, perhaps something he didn't do at Arsenal that often. It is long. Looped throw, flicked on by Livermore and then nodded back by Kolasinac into the arms of Petr Cech. And Kolasinac has it once again over on that left-hand side. Plays the ball infield here for Mohamed Elneny. Kolasinac wants it back. Elneny has to come back towards Koscielny. Still deep inside Arsenal territory here. And now it's with Hector Bellerin. Over the halfway line, chips it forward, looks for the run of Alex Lacazette. Foster's come a long way, a slice clearance, but he gets there ahead of the Frenchman. Arsenal have a throw.
Yeah, good run from Lacazette, just between the two of the central defenders there. Good delivery from Bellerin. And Foster having a little bit of a shank here. These are the areas where Arsenal really need to use their technique and skill, though. Tight little areas, players packed in.
Lacazette looking to use that skill, gets away from one challenge but not another, and then it's thumped forward by Gareth Barry, looking for Hal Robson-Kanu. Mustafi is there to win it back. Koscielny takes the touch, and now it's with Nacho Monreal over on that left-hand side. Monreal has nowhere to go, goes all the way back towards Shkodran Mustafi. Griffin O'Rourke's been on, says, evening gents, great to have the Gunners back. Let's talk about Ramsey. He's one of the most mercurial players in Europe, says Griffin, and for me, he either puts in a world-class shift or he disappears. What do you think about his positioning today? I prefer him in a deeper role, making late runs into the box, but when played there, he often shirks defensive responsibilities. How can we get the best out of our Welsh wizard? How's he done so far for you, David? We've had 16.5 minutes. Got himself in a couple of decent positions. Yeah,
I think early stages in these games against teams like West Brom, they're going to work hard across the midfield, going to make it difficult for our midfielders to get on the ball, which they are certainly doing. Gareth Barry's working hard, closing down. He's not going to last 90 minutes doing that. He won't be able to he keeps getting tight to Ramsey, stopping him from playing, stopping him from getting on the ball. We've just got to break them down the first 20-25 minutes, and I think we'll gradually see him getting into the game more. He's coming wide at the moment to get on the ball, which is good because, he's getting touches, he's getting involved. He's not just being isolated. But as you can see with Krychowiak, they're working so hard to try and keep up. Makes another foul across the middle there. They will get more and more tired as the game goes on.
Free kick to Arsenal, 10 or 15 yards inside the West Brom half, central-ish. Granit Xhaka standing over this one. Imad's been on, says, hi guys, I waved at you both in the Doncaster game, but you didn't see me. I think we'll win 2-0 today. I don't know if you're listening on the app today and you hear Imad. We'll try and wave next time, promise. Here is Koscielny. Now it's with Bellerin. Flick back towards Lacazette. Tries to get Ramsey in, but it's cleared away by West Brom. Only as far as Xhaka once again. Now it's with Elneny, central position. Short ball for Alexis Sanchez. Alexis challenged by Hegazi. Here is Alexis still, forward towards Hector Bellerin, inside the penalty area, tries to get it on his left side, can't pull the trigger. Elneny back towards Alexis, and Elneny was caught by Johnny Evans. Free kick just a foot outside of the penalty area.
Yeah, just managed to get to the ball just before Jonny Evans, didn't he? He's having a little bit of a smile with Bobby Madley at the moment, but Arsenal quite fortunate to get this free kick on the edge of the box. They had got the ball into position wide. Bellerin's first touch let him down, but as it was recycled, and then he gets caught, and I'd say it's a perfect angle for Xhaka, but you never know when Alexis is on it. He could be looking to go up and over the wall on the near post.
Well, it's a metre out. They pulled it back a little bit, and Alexis takes it back another half a foot here. Maybe it will be the Chilean who will take it on. Looking for 4 in 4 against West Brom here. Scored at Hawthorns last season. It came to nothing, of course. The Gunners beaten 3-1. Can he grab Arsenal the lead? He's just rolled it forward again. I think the referee, Bobby Madley, has made him do that. Xhaka hands on hips. Alexis looks a little more serious. 5-man wall. Alexis Sanchez over the wall. Oh, terrific stop, and then followed in by Alex Lacazette from close range. And the Frenchman has done it once again. He scored in a 3rd consecutive home Premier League clash. The first man to do so since Brian Marwood in the late 80s. Johnny on the spot. That's what we bought him for.
You know, predatory striker, gets in there. He's only got to nod it in, but you've got to be there to do it. It's a deft little free kick. Just a fast little curl up, and it is coming down. Foster can't take no chances. I think he just touches it onto the bar. Yeah, and it pops straight out to Lacazette, who's there just to punch it home. Good start for the Gunners. It was a little touch onto the bar as well.
Terrific play from Alexis. The free kick was excellent. We're just looking at the challenge between Evans and El Neni again. There wasn't that much contact, but I think there was enough, you know.
Yeah, there's enough. That's what I'm saying. He was lucky to get that because we had recycled the ball out to Sanchez, and the referee could have easily let that go. Decided to give it. Right decision from Arsenal's point of view. Great execution of the free kick, and poacher's goal for Lacazette.
Yeah, something maybe we've been lacking over the years. Dawson has clattered into Alexis. The referee allows play to continue. Cleared away by Hegazi. Looking here for Hal Robson-Kanu to flick it on. Gareth Barry has it now. He's got Kieran Gibbs to the left-hand side, Rodriguez to the right. Cleared away once again. Let's see what Krychowiak can do. Now it's with Gibbs, Barry. Krychowiak once again. Side from Paris Saint-Germain, once of Sevilla. Part of that very good Sevilla side that won the Europa League a couple of times on the spin a few years ago. And now Jonny Evans, who will argue all night long that he didn't touch El Neni, but there was a bit of intent there, and I think there was a coming together of boots. Lacazette flattens Jonny Evans. That's going to be just a throw-in. Tony Pulis can't believe it. Ramsey will leave it.
I think Aaron Ramsey's just applauding one of the West Brom staff who, when the ball rolled into the dugout, just rolled it into the back of the dugout even deeper. I don't know what he's trying to achieve by that, but his side of 1-0 down, I'll be chucking it back on as quick as I could.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Prabhat Singh says, hi guys, from London, going for a 2-0 win for the Arsenal. And it's been a positive start from the Gunners. Might want to have another guess for that one, you never know. Long towards Ramsey, flicks it on for Alexis, but Foster is there. Cam says, need a bit more urgency. This before the goal, saying you see other teams winning 5 or 6 every weekend. I want the same. Think Lacazette will bag a hat-trick tonight. Cam did say that before the first one went in. Yeah, do you think the ante's been upped a little bit with massive wins for Manchester City? And I know United didn't win that heavily this weekend, but
they're spoilt with players that can do that in the first early parts of the game. Great pace, you know, Mane and Aguero, them sort of players just can get on the ball and be 3 against 1 and do something. Arsenal are not. Have not got those players all spread around the pitch. Arsenal's players play as little triangles and little doubles and little one-touch passing. That's where Arsenal's best play comes from, not normally from individual pieces of brilliance. And so from that point of view, you're talking about 2 different teams, and we said Arsenal would have to grind a result out tonight. They've got it in the first 20 minutes. They've worked hard against this side, West Brom side, who have, you know, put in a shift, but they've got tired, and Arsenal are now exploiting them with their passing.
Lacazette looks to control, but it just gets away from the Frenchman and rolls back towards Foster. Tom King's been on, says, when are we going to see Alexis, Ozil, Lacazette play together? Love the commentary, says Tom. Yeah, we were wondering about that, weren't we?
Add Ramsey to that as well, because I think he's definitely... I've never been a big fan of the 2 holding midfield players. All the way back in the day when we was playing, when Coquelin started with Arteta in there and we'd have 2, I just kept thinking it was a waste, you know, and thinking, why have we got 2 in there all the time? We're much better when we release 1 player.
Long towards Alexis Sanchez, left-hand side, but once again, Ben Foster is there. Philip Russell says, come on, Arsenal, West Brom will be hard to break down. We've just got to be patient. 1 or 2 of these emails, just to give you a few name checks, because obviously they came in before the goal. And Colin Peters says, with the basis of the team all preferring to play the ball inside, we limit our options to make the pitch wide and move opposition defenders out of position. We get a goal to make West Brom have to come and play rather than sit deep. I think this day and age, though, there's an awful lot of teams that even when they go a goal down, they don't change their game plan. They might change it last 10 minutes, but they don't change it early.
No, doesn't seem to be West Brom have, but they came with a game plan that I was surprised with anyway, pushing 2 players forward. Because if 2 players go forward, the rest of the team really have to follow them to a certain extent. They can't sit and absorb pressure. They got away with it, as I said, for 20 minutes because it was big runs for the midfield player, but now they can't get as close to Arsenal's attacking sort of trio. And if we can get the ball in that final third to feet, we will cause lots of problems now as the half goes on and they're more and more tired.
Alexis Sanchez has possession. We've had 24 and a bit minutes here at the Emirates Stadium. The Gunners lead by 1-0. Rode their luck early on with a penalty that potentially could have been given to West Brom when Jay Rodriguez hit the post after being brought down. Referee allowed play to go on because the goal-scoring opportunity was still there. Rodriguez simply didn't take it. Hit the post, although Cech got his fingertips to it. Since then, Arsenal have just upped the tempo a little bit. They've looked decisive coming forward. They've worked some good opportunities. And when Alexis's free kick was tipped onto the crossbar by Ben Foster, it was Alex Lacazette to score for the 3rd consecutive home game in the league to match Brian Marwood's record from, was it the 88-89 season? Here is Gareth Barry for West Brom. He's given the ball away straight to Aaron Ramsey and picks his pocket and drives forward, right-hand side infield. Lacazette leaves it towards Alexis, and then it's cleared away by Dawson and out for an Arsenal throw.
Yeah, it was a good leave, wasn't it? It was aware of Alexis coming in behind him, and Sanchez just quite couldn't get across Habzig there, Hagazi, and pick the ball up. Loose pass there from Bellerin as well.
Livermore comes forward, Bellerin wins it back and now finds Elneny, who turns and drives forward. Alexis stretches, picks up the ball, looks for Lacazette, left-hand side, forced towards the byline, knocks it back here. Kolasinac, angle of the box on the left. Elneny, Kolasinac, looks for Ramsey just behind the Welshman, unlucky. Good interchange, good crisp passing. The final ball just a little off. Yeah,
it was just a little off, but at the pace that was moving at, that forward movement, I mean, Kolasinac, he was really motoring in the box, wasn't he? And that's what Arsenal will do now. They can turn the heat up for the last 18, 19 minutes. Try and get that 2nd goal. Kill this game off, hopefully.
Arsenal coming forward again. Another opportunity. This time it's gone towards Nacho Monreal. Looks to force his way inside the box, but he's crowded out in the end. A combination of Hagazi and Neom doing enough. And then that's going to be a free kick to West Brom. As Kolasinac has been penalised on that far side. Or Xhaka, can't quite see. But a free kick deep inside West Brom territory.
Confident run here from Monreal, just little ball inside to Alexis. He makes the run. Look at this first touch, lovely first touch. 2nd one with the right foot, not too bad, but it's a recovery by Hagazi again, making the challenge. But, you know, very confident Arsenal side when one of your 3 defenders, central defenders, are making a run into the box to pick up a forward pass.
Foster will punt it long. Jay Rodriguez beaten in the air. Barry will try and knock it down. Jay Rodriguez again, his shot is charged down comfortably, and Xhaka will play it to the left-hand side towards Kolasinac, back towards the Swiss, and Xhaka plays it forward for Alexis Sanchez. Alexis just twists away from Gareth Barry. Then it's Ramsey just behind Hector Bellerin, has to recover, controls on the halfway line, plays it back in field towards Alexis Sanchez, who in turn finds Laurent Koscielny. Arsenal play the ball between 2 centre-halves. Chris, who's listening from a hot but rainy beach in Playa Car, Mexico, says predicts a 2-0 win. Lacazette, Ramo to score, but no more penalty opportunities, please. Talking about West Brom there. I think that email came in just before the 1st goal. We also gone to say hats off to Barry, massive achievement for a true English Premier League pro. Kolasinac wins it for Arsenal on the halfway line, finds Alexis Sanchez. Aaron Ramsey breaking forward to his right. It's Ramsey, but that's intercepted by Hagazi. Oh, turns away from Alexis nicely and plays it towards Neom. Game is just opening up a little bit, David.
Yeah, it is, and West Brom are helping that along by trying to attack with numbers. You know, they're getting 2, 3, 4, 5 players forward. leaving gaps at the back. It's just a matter of Arsenal getting that right pass and support up to those front men who are breaking as quick as they can for when this second goal will come. Still not seeing any other opportunities apart from the early one on the post from Rodriguez.
This is Hegazi coming forward over the halfway line. Looking for an out ball, potentially. There's the Egyptian who was signed from Al Ahly. Had a spell in Italian football with Fiorentina. Didn't really get too much of a go, was loaned to Perugia, but his experience, 40 caps for his country. Long punt forward for Jay Rodriguez to chase, and it's Koscielny who comes across to deal with the danger, and the ball goes out for a throw into West Brom. And this is where potentially they might afford one or two more players in advanced positions here. Kieran Gibbs charged with the responsibility of taking the throw, and he gets it back and then tries to wriggle through Hector Bellerin, but can't get beyond his former teammate. Then he snaps into the challenge and wins it back. He's showing some tenacity here, still going, gets to the byline, does get the cross in. Robson Kanu tries to take it down ahead of Mustafi and Koscielny. Eventually the ball, does it go out for a corner? It might have done. No, goal kick. All a bit scrappy, but a little bit of industry shown from West Brom.
Yeah, there was a nice few challenges from old teammates going on in the corner there. But I was watching the referee at that point, see him, because he put his whistle to his mouth a couple of times like he was going to make a decision, and then I think he thought, this is so messy, I'm just going to let it carry on until it peters out into something, and it did. It's eventually gone for a goal kick to Arsenal. Game's gone a little bit flat since the goal. I would have liked to have seen Arsenal push on a bit more, just with 15 minutes left to play.
Yeah, in this first half here at the Emirates Stadium on a relatively warm night, certainly on a cold night in the capital for a Monday night game. Last on, Premier League Week 6, Manchester City, Manchester United at the top of the table. Wins for the pair of them. Chelsea winners, Liverpool winners, Tottenham winners. As you intimated earlier, David, you just get the feeling that normal service is being resumed in the Premier League after some odd results earlier on in the campaign.
Yeah, the cream's coming to the top, isn't, as they say, and I think Arsenal could, need and have to be up there. The result tonight has to be a win to be able to achieve that. Just seen Ramsey go down again. Challenge from behind from, is it Hegazi again?
Yeah.
You know, marking him really tight. Referee didn't see it as a foul, but he's getting involved in those in between the lines. That's where he needs to be, you know, really needs to be picking up the ball.
Craig Rushmere says, hi guys, looking forward to a 4-0 win tonight. That's Craig's prediction for the score. Let's see what Kolasinac can do for Arsenal. In towards Xhaka. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Skips away from one challenge. Rolls it into the path of Mohamed Elneny. Elneny 35 yards away from goal. Back towards Alexis Sanchez. Now it's with Xhaka. Arsenal trying to find a way through. West Brom holding firm for this attack at the moment. And then Xhaka gives the ball away momentarily. Monreal helps out. Robson Kanu can't quite win it back. And Xhaka has it again on the halfway line. Arsenal play themselves out of a spot of bother. Nothing too dangerous, and come forward through Hector Bellerin on the right-hand side. Now it's with Aaron Ramsey. Darting towards Elneny. Good touch for Alexis Sanchez. Can he feed it through towards Ramsey? Great touch. Ramsey going forward. He can keep it in play. Looks to get the shot in. Foster recovers and saves.
Oh, good interplay, wasn't it, from Sanchez? Ramsey comes really short, picks up the ball, comes inside, lays it off to Elneny, continues his run into the centre of the box. Lovely pass. Ben Foster does well not to commit to the challenge there, doesn't he? Could have easily pulled Ramsey down, but just that final pass by Ramsey. Would have liked to have seen it dinked up towards the far.
Just needs to get underneath it a little bit more, doesn't he? Mark Beale says, greetings from Malmo. Can I just say I'm still hoping Lacazette turns out to be the new Ian Wright rather than the new Brian Marwood. Only joking. There can only be one Ian Wright during the commentary. Mark, he had that one terrific goal scoring season, didn't he, Brian Marwood, when he just couldn't stop scoring. Here is Alexis Sanchez, who's done his fair share of scoring in his Arsenal career. This is Ramsey, right-hand side, edge of the area, looks for Lacazette once again. It's nodded behind by Neom, and it's out for an Arsenal corner. Arsenal in control at the moment, David.
Yeah, just getting on the front foot again. West Brom working really hard to recover. Neom, I think, has done a fantastic job out on that right-hand side, because Kolasinac has been kept pretty much quiet every time he's got the ball. He's only been allowed to lay it off and not been able to get the return pass. He's there, back there, Neom defending to put it out for a corner. But the pressure's certainly on.
Yeah, pressure still very much on. West Brom look to mark their man. Mustafi tries to get half a yard. Driven in, it's towards Alexis' far post. Was he brought down? Claiming that he had his shirt pulled. Nothing doing, according to either assistant or referee. Cam's been back on, says, hi guys, keep up the commentary. Great to see Lacazette with a goal. Players are showing more urgency now, which is exciting. Watching Sanchez and Lacazette play together, something else. Just need Ozil to join the Connu Gunners. Goes on to say, if you could bring in one player in January, who will it be? Transfer window's only just slammed shut, Cam. Get David's thoughts on that later. One player. I'll take Messi. Here is Kieran Gibbs. Baird can't get to the pitch of the ball, and it's cleared by West Brom. Mustafi under a bit of pressure. It's going to be a throw into West Brom, though, and an opportunity maybe for Hal Robson-Kanu to take it quickly. Decides against it. Be interesting to see what does happen in January. Obviously, there's one or two loose ends that need tying up, as everyone is well aware. Evans for West Brom. 11 minutes remaining in this first half. Really enjoyable football so far, and even West Brom have sort of given a little bit more than I thought that they would. They showed a little bit more ambition. This is Lacazette, turns away from Evans, then gets caught by Barry. Free kick, dangerous area, and it's 3 or 4 yards outside of the box, outside of the D. Pretty central position, and Johnny Evans is going to go into the book.
Yeah, no surprise. He's had a couple of these challenges. One on El Neni was very similar. You know, a late little touch pass from Lacazette, drew the foul in from Evans. This one, a little bit further out, but sometimes it gives you the scope to really get that ball up and down. We know Alexis likes to put these in front of the keeper on the floor. If he can make that bounce in front of Ben Foster, he can give him a whole lot of problems.
So, Xhaka, Alexis. Well, we've seen Alexis have one pushed onto the bar, which Lacazette pounced on. Have West Brom learnt their lesson? Can Alexis Sanchez find the corner unaided? Let's find out. 9.5 minutes to go until the break. Or will Xhaka have a crack at this one? Alexis with the shorts tucked up. Xhaka, hands on hips. It's going to be the Chilean again. And it comes again, and it's just wide this time.
Yeah, he's gone for a little bit of whip around the wall. I think I would have preferred to go up and down if I was him. He's tried to go... Yeah, he's tried to get whipped round it, hasn't he? Not caused too much problems, but certainly a good return to the Premier League for Alexis. He's already scored in this. I was going to say that already scored and a couple of shots causing problems for West Brom. Just what Arsenal need in the side right now.
Peters Bidon says, hi gents, well taken goal by Lacazette. He's a type of player we've missed. We've looked pretty solid, just one uncertain point, but the players are doing their job. Kolasinac solid again, hoping for a few more goals. Arsenal coming forward, left-hand side, the ball goes out of play. 3 quick games in a row, so it'd be good to rest some players once we get some goals. That's Peter who's out in Jersey. Yeah, we might see some changes if Arsenal can get a bit of a buffer. Throwing to West Brom, Neon will take. Down towards Gregor Krychowiak, who will find Evans, who was booked for that challenge earlier. Now he's with Foster outside of his penalty area, thumps it forward, low trajectory, flicked on by Kieran Gibbs towards Hal Robson-Kanu, tries to knock it back here for Gibbs again, but it's Hector Bellerin that wins that particular duel, and now it's with Mohamed El Neni, who played over to the left-hand side. This is Kolasinac. Kolasinac driving forward, short, as we see Arsenal look to probe away once again. Tony Pulis just in front of our commentary position. Gary Megson is down there as well. He's back at West Brom as an assistant coach, isn't he now? Former manager. Given away by Ramsey. That's better play. Krychowiak will drive forward. Hasn't really got the pace, or has he, to get away from Koscielny? Still going. Looks to try and get the cross in, and the header down. He's cleared off the line brilliantly. That's Nacho Monreal, who somehow manages to clear off the line from the downward header. Not quite sure who got the header in. It was Hal Robson-Kanu. How on earth did this one stay out, David?
First of all, how does that ball get over 2 defenders? But look at that recovery from Monreal. He's virtually underneath the crossbar.
Jay Rodriguez, isn't he, with the header,
look at that. There's no room for error there. He has done well to get it up and over the bar as well. Unbelievable defending.
In comes the corner, flicked on by Hagazzi to the edge of the 6-yard box, and then he's cleared away by the Gunners. That's sensational clearance from Nacho Monreal. It was Jay Rodriguez who popped up. I thought initially that Krychowiak was trying to get the shot away, but it turned out to be a brilliant cross.
Yeah, I thought it got a deflection and went over for a cross, but to find its way straight to Rodriguez, you know, with virtually a goal gaping for him. What a great recovery by Monreal.
This is Rodriguez coming forward again. He gets the shot away early. He has looked very lively.
Yeah, well, now he's just holding his hand up there. He held onto the ball for too long. Arsenal got to get popping the ball around, moving it around quickly. Don't let West Brom back into this game. He gets caught with the ball here. Dawdlin taking too much time to make a pass. Gets robbed of the ball there. Rodriguez gets a shot off. Arsenal need to be a bit sharper because Pulis's boys will pounce on this if they get the opportunity.
Nothing wrong with the header from Jay Rodriguez. We're just watching it again. It's textbook stuff. He knocks it from where the goalkeeper is coming from, so Petr Cech has got no time to react. He's already on the move. And then somehow, from somewhere, Nacho Monreal with some heroics to clear from underneath the bar. As David rightly described, he was into the net. Thankfully, the ball wasn't. Keith has been on from Shodaleg. A belated good afternoon. He writes, just got in to find the game live on Ecuadorian TV. West Brom playing well and lucky to be 1 down. They need to push West Brom. I'd like to see 4-0 for the Gunners. Might be dreaming like I always have done in the past. Keith, glad to have you along. Miss your early mail. I hope work isn't too taxing out there in Ecuador. This is Hagazzi. Long towards Hal Robson-Kanu. Mustafi clears. Barry's pass is awkward for Neon, who can only take it down into the path of Alexis, and then Kolasinac will take it on, and Lacazette's on the move. It's Lacazette, still going, left-hand side, runs out of room, plays it back. Xhaka leaves it for Alexis Sanchez, cleared away by West Bromwich Albion, and Jake Livermore, who got caught in possession but wins a free kick. Arsenal fans believed that Livermore caught Lacazette. Not quite so sure about that. I think the referee's probably got it right.
Yeah, we'll see now with the replay. And Arsenal working hard to get the ball forward. But it's just that final little pass, little bit of a touch. Just there. Just needs to pick a better pass out, I think, keep the ball. Got good possession in the penalty area and end up having to chase it and battle back. I think Livermore gets it fairly, and Lacazette doesn't really do anything. Maybe it must be for the Kolasinac challenge.
Long pump forward by Ben Foster. Arsenal lead by a goal to 0. It's flicked to the right-hand side. Anna Neon coming forward. Hal Robson-Kanu waits. So does Jay Rodriguez. The cross is whipped on. It's flicked on towards Jay Rodriguez, but he just can't get a touch on that one. Difficult opportunity. But Hal Robson-Kanu and his flick from the cross from Neon, once again just reminding Arsenal that West Brom have come, I think, with just a little bit more ambition than I thought they would do, in honesty.
Well, they've started with 2 players up front attacking, so getting the ball into the box is going to be a must for them when they can. The last 2 opportunities, Neon really smart by 2 players there, Dan. He shouldn't be getting a cross in. He should, you know, he basically should get blocked out of the game, ushered back into the midfield or back down the line. But he's able to get that cross in, and they will attack it. They will try and get something out of this last 3-4 minutes of the first half.
Neon with a touch, cleared away. But then one back once again, and it comes towards Jay Rodriguez and Kieran Gibbs. Cleared away by Arsenal, only as far as Krychowiak. And eventually it's back towards Johnny Evans. West Brom just enjoying a little spell of pressure here. This is Jake Livermore. He's had his issues, of course, over the last few years. But a talented performer of Tottenham. This is Krychowiak again on this left-hand side. Has to knock it back towards Johnny Evans. Dawson calling for it, so is Hagazzi. Hagazzi's touch sends him back towards his own penalty area. Has to go long. It's a poor ball forward, really, from the Egyptian. But West Brom makes something of it. This is Dawson down the line for Neon, right-hand side. Kolasinac looking to get goal side. Tries to get the challenge in. Neon does well to spin away from Kolasinac. Then he plays it back here for Dawson. Dawson on the move. Kolasinac across. Dawson goes again. That's going to be a free kick to West Brom here. Well, initially I thought he let it go because Dawson got back up quicker than Kolasinac. Kolasinac just threw himself at Dawson.
I think that's the trouble with being physical, isn't it? you do get drawn into it, and he has just, yeah, he's gone right across Dawson. I think it suits Dawson there as well, because if Kolasinac had gone for the ball into a 50-50, he could well have been getting carried off the pitch. He's done well to avoid hitting the tank as he went past him there.
Someone got a yellow card there. Alexis, there's a yellow card out. Alexis, I think, has got a yellow card for complaining, I presume.
He hasn't, and he's just touched Bobby Madley on his arm, and Bobby Madley showed him his arm and said, "Don't touch me."
If it continues, there could be more in this. What's the referee doing here? He's pointing to someone. I think he wants to word with... No, he doesn't want to word with anyone. Or does he? Does he want to word with Laurent Koscielny? There's some pushing and shoving, or either that, he's pulling Laurent Koscielny across here because I think he wants him to have a word with Alexis Sanchez.
Yeah,
because as you've just said, he touched him on the arm after he'd been yellow carded, and Bobby Madley is basically saying here, look,
he's got him on space. He just said it. You can read his lips. Yeah.
Just look, skipper, have a word with him, because if he does it again, it's going to be a second yellow. He definitely got booked for that.
I think that's treating Alexis like a bit of a child in my book.
But
he needs to be a man and just say to him, look, don't do that. I'm going to have to book you again. Just push back, get 10 yards, and shut up and get on with the game. You know, because we're all grown men out here. I don't think you have to call the captain over and say, oh, can you have a word with the man standing next to me? Alexis can understand English.
Well, maybe Alexis is suggesting that he can't.
It's just his enthusiasm, though. You know what Alexis is like. He wants to win everything, doesn't he? And he wants to argue every point.
He's got to watch himself. There is a line to be towed, not to be stepped over. Free kick, right-hand side for West Brom here. No Chris Brunt on the starting lineup to whip these in. In it comes low, and it's flicked away by Lacazette and out for a corner. It was Kieran Gibbs charged with taking responsibility. I do like Chris Brunt as a deliverer of a ball. He's been more in than out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
he really is one of the best deliverers got in the Premier League. Final few seconds of this first half. We might get a minute or so of added on time because we had the odd stoppage, and West Brom have got a corner here. 1 minute of added on time. West Brom looking to make the most of it. Flat trajectory, and it's cleared away by the Gunners. Nodded back towards the halfway line for Krychowiak to try and do something with. He plays it to the right-hand side, and it's nodded inside the area. There's a chance for Rodriguez here. Can he force it in? Well, in the end, it was Gareth Barry coming in round the back that got the touch on that. Rodriguez was at the near post, and it's gone out for another corner.
Yeah, it's a great switch of play.
See Gareth Barry at the far side.
It's a lovely put. Yeah, he puts the ball into a lovely area, doesn't he?
Is that Petr Cech that's knocked it behind?
Gibbs on the right-hand side who puts that ball over. It is, and it's Gareth Barry who just gets the header in, but...
They've had chances, West Brom. Let's hope they don't create another one. In it comes once again, deeper ball, but it's cleared away. More orthodox clearance this time around. Neon will look to redistribute. It's gone towards this near side once again. Livermore knocks it back. Johnny Evans has it now, looking to turn away from El Neni. Referee's had a quick look at his watch here. There's nowhere to go for Krychowiak, and the pressure has disappeared because the half-time whistle has gone. Alex Lacazette's close-range header after Alexis's free kick was tipped onto the bar by Ben Foster. The difference between the two sides, but I've seen a bit more ambition in West Brom than I have seen in recent visits here. This game is by no means over, David.
Yeah, the last 5-10 minutes, Arsenal just took their foot off the gas, stopped moving the ball around as efficiently, and just allowed West Brom a little bit more time on the ball, especially in wide positions. With that time, they used it well, got a couple of crosses in, and they was crosses where Petr Cech really, he wanted to come, but he couldn't, in real good, dangerous areas. And Arsenal, fortunate, I think, to go in at 1-0, especially when you consider that the chance that Rodriguez had when he hit the post, which I believe still the referee could have and should have given a penalty.
Lots of talking points in the first half, no doubt about that. I'm sure you will want to comment on it, and Nicole's got the details of how you can get in touch.
Yeah, that was quite an exciting first half, wasn't it? I know that you will all have a lot to say about it. So get your tweets in now using the hashtag AFCVWBA, and I'll read some of them out a little bit later on.
That was Nicole, and we'll have more from Nicole very shortly indeed. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be pitch side shortly. Nigel Mitchell with a better look has got Kevin Campbell with him. We're also going to be delving into some Optistats and analysis with David ahead of that. It's our latest series, Quickfire, this time featuring the boss and Per Mertesacker.
Hello, boss. Are you ready to play Emirates Rapid Fire?
This is a fight, my friend. If I understand.
No, it's not.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's go. First question. Who's the most skilled player you have ever worked with?
Most skilled players, I would say maybe Dennis Bergkamp. Favorite music artist of all time?
Bob Marley.
I like that answer.
What's your favorite thing to pass the time on a flight?
Reading.
What's the last book you read?
The last book I read was about physiology, and I don't remember the title. What's your ultimate holiday destination?
Brazil.
Oh yeah? If you had to buy me a gift,
Yeah.
what gift would it be?
Oh my Lord. I won the World Cup while being here at Arsenal. I would give you a little World Cup, you know?
Oh, thank you very much.
What was the last gift you bought for someone?
I'm quite embarrassed at the moment. I think it's a gift from my daughter.
Good.
What do you prefer, beach or pool?
Pool.
Oh,
Would you prefer to travel somewhere where the sun doesn't set or the sun doesn't rise?
the sun doesn't rise. Who was your celebrity crush growing up?
Anna Kournikova.
Oh, yeah.
You know her?
Yeah,
The
I
tennis.
know her.
She was pretty.
Yes, she still is. Now I have an easy question for you.
Okay.
In 30 years' time, who will look better, you or me?
I think we
I answer
both
for
look
you,
pretty.
you.
Okay. Favorite word?
Love. Teammate, past or present, you wouldn't want to fight.
Gabriel. And now I changed to our new teammate Sead Kolasinac.
You look strong.
Do you prefer a city break or holiday by the sea?
I like nature, and so I would say holiday by the sea.
Where?
South of France. Favorite pet animal?
Guinea pig.
What?
Guinea pig?
Oh.
Who would you play in a movie?
Zool.
Or Richard Gere?
You're stuck on a desert island. Who would you want to be there with you and why?
I think Peter Cech has got some idea. I don't know why, but he has always got an idea. So
Good.
I hope that he will get us out of that mess. Who has the hardest shot from anyone you have managed?
Lucas Podolski.
I agree.
Do you remember your debut? How nervous were you on the scale of 1 to 10?
I would say 10. It was against Swansea.
I thought you were 10 before Chelsea as well.
No. That was different. I think I was on 2 there.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Because I haven't played for a long time. No one expected a lot from me.
Yeah.
Everyone wrote me off before.
Exactly.
So that was certainly a different situation. So that was only 2.
What's the first thing you do when you get on a plane?
Get ready for sleep. What politician would you prefer to sit next to on a plane for 11 hours from Australia to
I would say
China?
one who has been president of a big country like Obama, and the first black president as well, and one who has done the job. And I would like to ask him, what would you change if you come back in again? Aisle seat or window seat?
I have to use the aisle seat because of my long legs.
Exactly, I do exactly the same.
Biggest legend, Muhammad Ali or Michael Jordan?
Muhammad Ali, because he got people who didn't like too much boxing to love it. What's better, winter fashion or summer fashion? No fashion.
No fashion. No fashion, yeah, no fashion is the right answer. Do you have a talent or skill that not many people know about?
No, I have in fact very little talent and very little skill as well. So I would like to be able to be a painter. You know, my painting is absolutely disastrous. What one word describes what you were like as a child?
Fat.
Oh yeah? I would have said, knowing you, competitive.
As a youngster, yeah, probably competitive. But as a baby, fat, yeah. FA Cup final, no strikers available. Do you pick me?
Yes.
Yes.
Every day.
Thank you very much. That was Emirates Rapid Fire.
Welcome back. That was the Boss and Pair and Rapid Fire. More Rapid Fire from our new series over the course of this season. Time to get some treats from you guys. Here's Nicole.
Yes, there have been so many tweets. It was hard to choose which ones to read out. But Zach the Fourth says, El Neni and Ramsey are looking good in their positions today, making things happen with the ball. Jamie D says, Arsenal, I think I broke my chair celebrating that Lacazette goal. Worth it, though. I do hope the chair is OK. Brooklyn Gunner says, Lacazette has such good instincts, always in the right place and so smart with timing. And Shani Guna says, absolutely brilliant defending by Nacho Monreal. Game-changing moment. It was indeed. That was such a good clearance. Keep those tweets coming in using the hashtag AFCVWBA. And you can send your emails in to dan@studio@arsenal.co.uk.
As you can see. Thanks, Nicole. Got Josh James alongside me, who's on match report duty today. Josh, tweeters talking about Nacho Monreal's clearance. That was sensational, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's worth a goal, isn't it? When he couldn't, it's given up, the goalkeeper's beaten, and he's virtually over the line when he gets it away. Superb acrobatic clearance from Nacho, and really there's been a couple of big let-offs, haven't there, for us in that first half, either side of the goal, because before that, Petr Cech made that superb fingertip save after what could have been a penalty. So a couple of let-offs, a few scares, and to be honest, I think they've outnumbered us with shots as well.
What was your understanding of the non-penalty situation? Did Bobby Madley Wave play on?
I presume so, because it looked like a stick-on penalty, and the referee was well placed. I presumed he was going to blow up. To be fair to Jay Rodriguez, he sprung straight to his feet, didn't he, and had the shot, so maybe...
If it had stayed down, are we suggesting it would have been a penalty?
I think so. I think that's forced the decision of the referee, because he's got up and he's wanted to have the shot, and he's taken the initiative there. He's hit the post, and then the rebound has also fallen to Livermore. So they've had the chances after that, and I think really that's made the decision for the referee. But I immediately thought he was going to blow for the penalty.
Alex, Lacazette, the difference so far. You mentioned pre-match about the Brian Marwood stat back in 1988. He's looked very sharp, hasn't he, Lacazette? We get a lot of emails saying we've not had that type of player for a long time. Even Thierry Henry wasn't necessarily a sort of goal six-yard box poacher. I mean, I'm not sure that Lacazette is either, but he's scoring some goals of that ilk this season.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see how he links up with Alexis, because it's the first time that they've played together. And so they will take a bit of time to get used to each other's runs and where they like the ball played to each other. But he was in the right place at the right time from that free kick, and that's all you want from your striker, isn't it? And sniffing around, not going offside. You often see that when a free kick is struck like that and the rebound goes to a forward, he's often offside. So he held his run, he was in the right place at the right time, and seems to love playing here at Emirates.
Josh, thanks. Josh, crack on with the match report. We'll bring David in. We've got some analysis courtesy of our colleagues from Opta. Well, something that you've picked out here, David, because this is an interesting comparison about how Arsenal and West Brom are attacking down their flanks. Yeah,
it's just a still, really, of a still shot of the attacking thirds, both sides. It shows us going both in the same direction. Obviously, we're not. But if you look at West Brom's, all their action is down their left-hand side. 57.1% of their attacking has all been down this side. And we said, you know, we talked about Kieran Gibbs' influence. What will he bring to West Brom? Well, look at it there. They've done lots of work down that side. In contrast, Bellerin on our right-hand side, so they're up against each other, has given nearly 44% of our attacking has gone down that side as well. So, you know, really everything happening down this side, but on reflection of what that's caused by is on the other side of the pitch. Neom, for me, is doing a superb job on Kolasinac. He is working so hard to contain him. Every time Kolasinac gets the ball, goes to flick it inside for Alexis, play the 1-2, it's stopped at that point. That goes down to good work from Livermore as well in the centre, closing the midfield players down. But interesting, it's going to be on the other side of the pitch second half, and I'll get a close-up of that battle now between Neom and Kolasinac.
David, thanks for now. We're going to have pitch side because Nigel Mitchell is with former Arsenal striker Kevin Campbell.
When they used to open the gates on the North Bank, I used to sneak in with my pals and get to watch Liam Brady and Pat Rice and those guys. So this club is in my blood.
Amazing, and of course then you got to play under Pat Rice and win the FA Youth Cup as well. That must have been incredible.
Yeah, he taught us a lot of very disciplined stuff, Pat Rice. Very good guy. What a club to learn your trade at, and this club has made a massive difference in my life.
And your debut, your full first-team debut against Everton, what are the chances?
Well, it was pretty ironic. I remember being told I'm going to be in the first-team squad for the game, and to come on for 12 minutes at Goodison Park against that great Everton side. We ended up winning the game with so many young players coming through the ranks. It was a sign of things to come.
And you won loads of stuff when you were here. Let's talk about the fact that you are almost an invincible. That incredible season, of course, you made such an impact when you came in February. What are your memories of that season, winning the First Division title? Yeah,
it was a tremendous season. I remember, you know, we were swapping leagues with Liverpool at the time, and then, you know, we lost one game that season, that was at Stamford Bridge. But to win it at Highbury at the time, and, you know, I think we beat Coventry 6-1. That was a fantastic game.
And of course the domestic cup double as well. Let's take a look at the goals that won that, and you can talk us through your memories of these occasions. So it's historic at the time. Did you realise that you were history makers and quite how significant that was?
No, we didn't quite know we're history makers. I remember Stephen Morrow, we came through at the youth team together. Stephen Morrow scored the winner, and then Tony Adams dropped him over his shoulder. Yeah. And this was pretty ironic, you know. Andy Linnigan, he went through some tough times at Highbury, but you know, he came up with a great winner.
And down the years, Kevin, you're something of a football quiz answer, aren't you? And one thing that I discovered about you is that you're actually a big part of Arsenal's history in that you scored Arsenal's first ever Premier League hat-trick. So let's take a look at it, and you can talk us through your memories of this. This is against Ipswich, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It was at Highbury. Quite a few miss-hits, as you could see. Fantastic times at Highbury. Everybody who remembers Highbury knows what a fantastic, iconic stadium it was. But to be the first Arsenal goal scorer of a hat-trick is something I'm very proud of.
Do you know who scored the second Premier League hat-trick for Arsenal?
Was it me?
It was you.
Yeah, there you go.
Against Swindon
away.
Yeah, it was Swindon.
And Wright got all the plaudits for that 45-yard chip.
I know, but you were the hero that night, really, weren't you? Great stuff. Also, we've got to talk about the Cup Winners' Cup. Copenhagen, of course. It was your goal that put us there. We've got the goal against PSG. Talk us through your memory of this night, because Wrighty, of course, got the yellow card, didn't he? So
yes, he got suspended. It was a very emotional night for Wrighty. And I think we're under the cosh for quite a bit. They were a very good side, but I just managed to get my head on a ball, just get it towards goal, and it ended up beating Lamar in the goal, and you know, we gladly went through.
And the rest, as they say, is history. So after Arsenal came Nottingham Forest, then a time in Turkey, then Everton, and of course you also spent a bit of time with our visitors tonight, West Bromwich Albion. Brian Robson was your manager there.
That's right.
What are your memories of your season at West Brom?
My memories of the season at West Bromwich Albion was that the great escape. You know, the first team to ever be bottom at Christmas, bottom at New Year, and to stay in the league. That was my greatest achievement as a footballer. So, you know, I've got a fantastic affinity with West Bromwich Albion. So, you know, it's brilliant.
There you are.
So it's fantastic.
Little nod to the West Brom fans tonight, which is great stuff. What are you up to nowadays, Kevin?
I'm involved in all sorts. I've got a son in the game. I'm involved in security. I've got a very good pal there who I do some work with, do humanitarian work with as well out in Iraq and Africa. So I keep myself busy.
Good man. All right, well, we do want to get your take on something as well, because you share something with Alex Lacazette, our new signing. I don't know if you knew this, but back in 1994-95, you scored this goal against Manchester City, which at the time was the fastest opening goal to a Premier League season. And then this season, Alex Lacazette did that as well against Leicester City. So as a former Arsenal striker, I mean, he scored tonight and he's made history. I don't know if you're aware of this, because no Arsenal player has scored in their first 3 home league matches since Brian Marwood back in 1988, and no one's ever done it in the Premier League. So as a former Arsenal striker, what do you make of Alex? He's been so good for us so far, hasn't he?
I think Alexander Lacazette is a special player. You know, paying that money for him and getting him in. A lot of people see him in France, but you could see his quality out here. He's got great feet. We just need to give him the chances and he'll score.
He's done all right so far, though, hasn't he? Well, listen, I am so pleased to finally see you here. Honestly, it's taken some hard work to get this man here. What a legend. He's here tonight. Enjoy the rest of the game. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Campbell. Top man, Kev.
Welcome back. Kevin Campbell, pitch side just a few moments ago. Good friend of yours.
Absolutely, yeah. Best friend of mine. Yeah, grew up together playing Sunday League football, school football from 11 onwards in South London, and managed to make it through Arsenal together. And yeah, just a great friend.
Half-time stats for you, and we're just about to get this second period underway. Look at this, West Brom out-shooting Arsenal at the moment, certainly in terms of shots. 7 to the Gunners 5, and on target 3 to the Gunners 2. Arsenal have had more possession, as you can see, but even more corners from a West Brom point of view. They have surprised me. They've come with a game plan. They've nearly executed it. This game is not over, David.
No, they came into their own probably the last 15 minutes of the first half. I think for the first 15, 20 minutes, they just basically took it on the chin from Arsenal without over-committing forward. And then Arsenal didn't really put their foot down and you know, make use of the chances they got after they went 1-0 up. And I think West Brom, you know, got grips with the game. They realised they had to put a few crosses in. They did. They made a few chances. They obviously got their stats looking a lot better, but they rattled Arsenal a few times towards the end of that first half.
Alexis Sanchez coming forward. Neon with a good, strong challenge. I'll rattle through the two teams just to confirm for you in a second. Let's see what Barry can do here. Forward towards Hal Robson-Kanu. Mustafi is there, though, for the Gunners. Now it's with Kolasinac on this near side. Short for Granit Xhaka. Caught by Livermore. Referee allows play to continue. Xhaka on the deck. Krychowiak coming forward. Needs a little bit of help here. Does Krychowiak. Still going. Runs into Nacho Monreal, who's had a terrific game for the Gunners. And Arsenal will recover and have possession and look to come forward on the right through Ramsey to the halfway line, and Hector Bellerin back in field towards Granit Xhaka. Xhaka on the centre spot, pretty much plays it to the left-hand side. This is Alexis Sanchez, curls it towards Ramsey. Might fall for Lacazette. Good defensive work from Hegazi, and then Kieran Gibbs to thump it forward. Koscielny's across to take it down, and the ball goes out of play. It started hell for leather the opening 90 seconds of the second half.
Yeah, end-to-end, West Brom attacking Arsenal, then straight away a good challenge by Monreal sets Arsenal off. Alexis, for me, choosing the wrong option there. I'd have gone with the overlap of Kolasinac down his left-hand side. He's tried to pick out a difficult pass into Ramsey, who again makes the run past the back line, trying to get in behind. And unfortunately, ball doesn't get there. But as you said, a very fiery start.
Johnny Evans coming forward for West Brom, looks to play it forward towards Hal Robson-Kanu, but Mustafi is there ahead of the West Brom striker, and Arsenal come forward now with Alexis Sanchez on the left-hand side, midway inside the West Brom half. It's with Granit Xhaka now, central position, plays it to the right-hand side, and Ramsey. Xhaka will get it back, the two trade passes once more. Ramsey for El Neni, now it's with Bellerin, no way forward on the right at the moment. The Egyptian, Mohamed El Neni, just turns away from Gareth Barry, has to roll it back towards Laurent Koscielny. Koscielny chips it forward to the left-hand side. Kolasinac will control, up against Neon. Left-hand side, infield, looking for the run of Ramsey. Ramsey denied by Barry. Barry loses out to Lacazette. Lacazette plays it to the right-hand side. Hector Bellerin looking to get a low ball in here. It's across the 6-yard box. No one can supply the finishing touch.
Yeah, it's a really good ball, isn't it? Arsenal work the ball well out onto the right-hand side. Into Hector Bellerin. We just see Lacazette challenging for there for Barry. Wins the ball. It's a good first-time pass just across the front of Foster. But interesting now, we just see Kolasinac. Neom isn't committing to Kolasinac because he doesn't want to show him the line. He's so afraid of getting beat down his outside, so he's just guiding him inside all the time, sitting 5 yards off him, guiding inside. And that's probably why we're not making much ground on this left-hand side.
Email from Darren Luton, who says, I don't like Lacazette being compared to Ian Wright. Ian was fantastic in his day, but the game of a striker has changed. Lacazette, a mix of old and new, exactly what we've needed for ages. What I hope for when we signed Eduardo, that's how long I've been waiting for him. 50+ million spent. He needs to be playing every game, not trying to bed him. From Darren and Manny in Luton. Pierce, guys, love the commentary. Glad to have you along, boys. Got a stoppage here because Arsenal have got a free kick.
Yeah, Craig Dawson just went through the back of Alexis Sanchez as he came short into the Arsenal half to pick the ball up. He's picked up a yellow card for it as well. That's both him and Johnny Evans picking up bookings at the moment. They'll have to be careful. The last thing West Brom are going to want is to go down to 10 men.
Darren goes on to say, David, what happened to your hair?
What hair? I thought I'd grow my hair the same as my beard so that you could turn me upside down and I'd look the same from both sides.
The thing is, you've got more than me. I'm just sort of I've got the comb over going on still.
Yeah, I just got beat by it. I wanted the bit of the thug look. I've been doing a lot of gym work lately, so I thought it'd suit me, a shaven head.
I think you could have gone. I think you had another 2 years. But I've been saying that to myself for about 5. Here is Lacazette to the left-hand side and Kolasinac left-hand side. Now it's with Alexis Sanchez. Can he get the crossing? Tries the the Rabona cross, and West Brom should be able to clear. They do have possession. Johnny Evans getting himself in a bit of a mess, but he does well eventually. Neon will chip it forward. That's hands against Monreal. It's going to be a throw, though, just to West Brom.
Does well, Johnny Evans, doesn't he? A bit of trickery in his own box. I don't know how Pulis will be handling that, whether he was enjoying the skills or just wanted him to get rid of it. But certainly got his team out of jail there.
Foster under pressure from Lacazette, left-footed, punts it long, looks to try and hit Gareth Barry. It's over the head of Gareth Barry. Elneny has it, and now it's with Ramsey on the right-hand side. The ball goes out of play. Jack Dearden says, hi, Dan, David. David, I tend to agree with your commentary. We must express more urgency and crispness. Don't give Baggies a sniff. Why the inhibition? I can sense another 1-2 goals in the second half. But we must be strong, confident. Monreal is underrated. This is Kolasinac looking to use his strength. Gets the cross in towards Elneny inside the area. The tap here for Lacazette! Over the crossbar by way of a deflection. And it's a corner to Arsenal.
Well, it's the first time Kolasinac has been able to get down that left-hand side. He actually runs inside of Alexis. He plays the ball up the line, gets the return pass, manages to get across Neon there. Really helps him out, plays the ball across. Elneny does well. And it's a last-ditch sliding challenge that puts the ball over for the corner.
In comes the corner, cleared away by West Brom, only as far as Nacho Monreal. Here is Alexis Sanchez, who looks to indulge in some ball juggling skills and then loses possession and then looks to win it back. He does so against Jay Rodriguez, but then hands the opportunity for Livermore to win it. Then Krychowiak goes down under the challenge of Elneny. Referee lets it go. Elneny then denied by Kieran Gibbs. Bobby Maddy's let an awful lot go in this game. Long punt forward for Robson Kanu, but it just spins through towards Petr Cech. Referee is allowing the game to flow. We've had 7 minutes of this second half. The Gunners lead by a goal to nil. It's not dead, this one yet, you sense. Ball goes out of play far side. In fact, was that a foul? It's going to be a free kick Arsenal, is it?
Yeah, I think it was Hegazi on Elneny there as he's chasing him across the pitch. That's the trouble when the game starts to get lively and the intensity lifts a little bit. The players are tending to stick their feet in, and if Arsenal can get that intensity around the edge of the West Brom area, they will pick up the little fouls, free kicks, draw players out, open spaces, just as they're doing now.
So, free kick midway inside the West Brom half, right-hand side. Granit Xhaka is stood over this one, and it comes, it's cleared away by Krychowiak, and Hector Bellerin inside his own half will turn. And then play it short for Monreal. Monreal has to turn away from Barry. He's done well as Nacho Monreal here. Looks to play it forward to the left-hand side and Lacazette. Lacazette through the legs of Jay Rodriguez. Now he's with Alexis Sanchez. Back towards Nacho Monreal. Left-hand side looking to turn behind Alan Neon. Neon stands his ground and the ball ricochets out. What a game Nacho Monreal's having.
Yeah, he's streaked forward again from the back. Good piece of skill to get out of the little predicament he was in on a halfway line, but done well and factored.
In comes the corner, flicked by Mustafi into the arms of Ben Foster.
Yeah, I was going to say, and he manufactured that corner. Alexis put it in near post. Mustafi almost getting enough on it to beat Foster at the near.
Rabinsbaum says, how about that? From Nacho Unreal, he was suggesting that we could change his name to. That deserves a win, talking about the goal line clearance in the first half. Focus and win, come on you Gunners, says Rabin, who was in Alaska years ago, but has probably moved 4 times since I last name checked it. Sorry about that. Here is Lacazette, loses out to Krychowiak. This is Livermore under a bit of pressure from Xhaka, knocks it back for Dawson. Dawson, old-fashioned up and under for Hal Robson-Kanu to chase. Nowhere near that. Easy for Bellerin back towards Petr Cech. Joel Robbins says, side down on the subject of other teams having players who are very individual, can score goals on their own, while Arsenal do arguably have some similar players, i.e. Alexis. It's a challenge from Rodriguez that's a little late on Monreal, and it's going to be a free kick here to Arsenal. I don't think it's going to be anything else. Joel goes on to say, I prefer Arsenal's playing style, and we do not have to rely on those key players for scoring goals if they get injured. Doesn't have as big as effect for us compared to, say, if Aguero got injured for Man City. And during the match commentary, 3-0 for the Gunners, as long as we defend like we did against Chelsea and continue to score. I think Arsene Wenger's teams have always been more about the team and about that intricate play that you're talking about.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about the individual, but the individual can work within the framework.
Yeah, we have seen it on odd occasions when Arsenal have, gone out there, got right on the front foot, and gone 3-0 up early on, but they've all normally been team effort goals and a team, team work ethic that's got them there, not individual stuff.
Here is Elneny. Oh, that's clever, and then Krychowiak takes him down, and that will be a free kick, and it might be a yellow card. Don't think it will be, actually. Oh, well, Bobby Madley wants to calm everyone down. Elneny's still down, certainly caught him there.
Yeah, it's quite...
Is it malicious? I don't know. Difficult to see. He just turns. Oh, well, maybe he has a bit of a slash in him. He's nowhere near the ball, Krychowiak, is he?
Yeah, he's nowhere near the ball. Has a little bit of a slash, but I'm a bit disappointed with Elneny's reaction. I don't know if it warrants someone banging into the ground and all of that stuff. Just get up and take the free kick. It's a game of football. That's going to happen. At the end of the day, if you get up and you show a bit of character and class, people will say, what a great turn that was, instead of talking about you banging the ball on the ground or banging your hand on the ground.
Was there a yellow card there or not?
I don't think there was.
I don't think there was there? No. Oh, hang on. Hold the phone. Hold on, caller. Yes, there was. Krychowiak does go into the book. It was a long time coming. I didn't see him flash the red card to the play because the play was miles away. But I think he's gone over and issued the yellow card and then come back almost out of sight. Anyway, free kick, left-hand side, drilled into the near post, cleared away by West Brom. It's going to bounce. Is it? No, Xhaka will head it. It's not the best of headers. But Monreal, who's everywhere at the moment, wins it back for Arsenal momentarily, and it's out now for a West Brom throw. Darren says, not been able to get to the Emirates so far this season. New baby arrival has changed the game. But I would love to know your first impressions of Lacazette. It's your first. Have you liked his play so far this season?
I think he's taken his time to show his everything he's got in his locker. But again, I don't know if he's had the service that he's been used to playing with. It's a different style of football he's coming to in Arsenal. There's a lot of triangles. He's got to come to feet a lot more and be much more part of a group of players that create chances. But I'm impressed with his finishing. I can't say I'm not. He's when he's been called upon, he's slotted home. So it just means for me he needs more chances made for him by other members of the team.
Neom looking to come forward right-hand side, but Kolasinac will nod away. Just the one goal still in this. It's by no means over. West Brom still fighting, as they always will do under Tony Pulis. We know that he's never managed to pick up any points when he's brought teams here in the league. 0 from 9, 9 defeats. It's a shocking record. This is Neom looking to curl it in, and that's Kolasinac who's in the way. Neom once again down by the corner flag, right-hand side. Just 6 or 7 yards from the flag stick. And Neom is going to launch this one long, you suspect. Robson Kanu, Livermore weight. So does Rodriguez. It's a poor throw. It's easily dealt with by the Gunners. And then Dawson just clatters straight into Alexis, and that's going to be a free kick here to Arsenal just outside of their own penalty area. Rabin's been back on explaining his moves around the States and the fact that he saw Arsenal play at the StubHub, home of LA Galaxy, when Arsenal played Chivas the other year. Galaxy having a shocking season, aren't they, in MLS? Free kick that Petr Cech will take. It's one of those things that sticks, Rabin. I always just have Alaska in my mind with you, but I will correctly think LA now. This is Elneny. Did have a couple of gooners in Alaska that used to email in. Rabin was one. I can't remember the other one. If you're still with us, still listening, give us a nudge. studio@arsenal.co.uk. If you're listening in tonight on Arsenal Player, we've got 31.5 minutes remaining here at the Emirates, and it's West Brom that are giving a good account of themselves here. They trail by a goal to nil. Lacazette's effort, close range, first half. A header after Alexis hit the crossbar with a free kick by way of Ben Foster's fingertips. The difference. I'm sure Tony Pulis is, after the game, going to talk about the penalty that his side arguably should have had. Referee Bobby Madley let it go. And Jay Rodriguez hit the post. And that's the story of it so far. But Arsenal are good value for their lead, and maybe should be more than one, David.
Yeah, possibly. I think.
Oh, all right then.
First
no.
Up, yeah, maybe no,
right,
maybe
right.
no. I think.
All right.
I think there's not been too much created second half so far, and on balance of play first half, you would say that West Brom had a shout of maybe being in the game with a goal. Arsenal need to work a little bit harder in the forward areas. They need to move the ball a bit quicker and keep possession in that final third better.
Free kick, Krychowiak, and it comes, and Cech comes and punches away, and that's good, strong play by Petr Cech, because Dawson was flying at him. West Brom still coming forward. Kieran Gibbs Hegazi over on that left-hand side. Still, West Brom try to find a way in. It's launched inside the box, but there's no one in West Brom colours there, and it's cleared away towards Alexis Sanchez. Neom sticks out a boot, and then Livermore helps out. And Tony Pulis shouts something at the fourth official, who's got it in the net, left, right and centre is Stuart Atwell. Here is Robson Kanu looking to turn away from Monreal. Easy for Monreal in the form that he's shown. Here is again the Spaniard down the line for Alexis Sanchez, who skips away from Livermore. Livermore tries to get back goal side, showing some good pace, but Alexis does him for skill and then plays it towards Ramsey inside the area, can't control it. Foster is there.
Yeah, I think that's a great play by Alexis initially, and then when he turns inside, he's got the time. It's just that final pass. I think he's looking. Here we see again, Livermore does well to keep up with him, but look at that for a turn. 2 players out of the game. I think he's looking far post there for Lacazette creeping round the back. It's just the execution of that final pass.
West Brom look like they're going to make a change. I've just seen the signal from one of their assistants down below us, so I expect something maybe for West Brom. Can't quite see who is being asked to come on. May well be Matt Phillips, but we'll wait and see. Let's see what Lacazette can do here. Right-hand side, plays it back for Aaron Ramsey. Back for El Neni. Angle of the box on the right as Arsenal attack the West Brom penalty area. Ramsey will have another go, maybe driving forward, moving from right to left. This is Xhaka, chips it back over to the right flank. El Neni's got space, time to take it down on his chest. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin will look to turn and try and take on Kieran Gibbs, then knocks it back for El Neni, gets to cross him, but it's charged down. No let up here, David.
No, they're just moving the ball well, Arsenal, but you know, you can pass the ball as much as you like. Sometimes you need a player to break the lines. We're not able to do it with through balls at the moment. We need someone just to commit. Hector Bellerin there, has he got an opportunity to take that full-back on? I think he has. I don't think he needs to keep going backwards and forwards to El Neni there. And we're just seeing that change now for West Brom.
It's a double change, in fact, isn't it? We're going to see James Morrison, I think, come on, and also Salomon Rondon. Rondon is a tough character, certainly. Jake Livermore, the first to come off, getting boos for his Spurs connections from the majority at the Emirates. James Morrison coming on, the Scottish international, now 31, been around, good Premier League performer over the years. And Salomon Rondon, who's a Venezuelan international, of course, had that purple patch at the start of last season. He's got a hat-trick against Swansea, back end of the calendar year. Certainly a physical forward as we see Arsenal come forward again, but that's easy for Ben Foster. But he's not been allowed to come on. It's not going to be a double change. I presume it's going to be Rodriguez to come off, maybe, or?
It depends what's in Pulis's mind, whether if he wants to go attacking with 2 players, keep 2 forwards up there. It might be Robson Kanu who comes off. We'll have to wait and see.
I mean, he's got the physicality, doesn't he, Ronda? But I don't think he's the quickest. Just about to enter the fray. Aside from Zenit. Decent record out in Russian football, Zenit, and with Rubin. And a spell at Malaga and Las Palmas. Who's it going to be to come off? It's Robson Kanu.
There you go. That's what I get paid the big bucks for, Dan.
Well, exactly.
I'll take a little bit less than Tony Pulis is. That'll do. But yeah, I think it was the right decision because Rodriguez has given us the problems. Robson Kanu's worked hard, but this is definitely a physical player coming on for a physical player going off, and I think it'll encourage more deliveries in the box from West Brom.
Long by Koscielny. Morrison gets the first touch and gives it straight to Ramsey. Ramsey looks for Lacazette, and then the challenge coming in was a little bit awkward. Lacazette's gone down. I think it was Kieran Gibbs. It's going to be a free kick. John's been on from Farnborough saying tonight's match proves that quality is vital both in attack and defence. The Gunners have that quality, and what the teams and fans need is faith. Luck comes with preparation. When preparation meets with opportunity, Gunners are destined for success tonight. Thanks for the great commentary, John, who's in Farnborough. We've got 25 minutes, just a little bit more. Arsenal lead by a goal to nil. El Neni, right-hand side, breaking forward up against Hegazi, who's been pulled across. Now it's with Aaron Ramsey, angle of the West Brom penalty area. El Neni has it again. Those two have combined well for much of this second half, but where is the penetration from them? Pretty passes, but can they find that pinpoint cross for a teammate inside the box, or Look for the movement of Alexis, perhaps, who's come a little in field here to try and get involved in the game. Central position, 35 yards away from goal. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Bellerin takes a touch short for Elneny, the 1-2. And once again, Ramsey, Bellerin gets it back inside the box. It's a good block and it's out for a corner. That was better from Arsenal.
Yeah, well worked again, you know, 5, 10, 15 passes, and then the opportunity to play a couple of little 1-2s comes up. Keeps popping up in my mind though, Dan. I want to play one of those two midfield players, Xhaka or Elneny, just to go past their opposing player, get the other side of them and draw the defenders out to them. Then the spaces open up. At the moment, you can pass the ball around all you like, but it's very difficult to get in behind West Brom right now.
It comes from the corner, cleared away by Hegazi. Towering defensive work from the Egyptian once again. Now it's with Hector Bellerin. Elneny. This is Monreal, now it's with Alexis Sanchez. West Brom still getting through plenty of work here. Alexis not happy about the challenge as he goes down. The referee has waved play on because Ramsey could be in round the back. Still Aaron Ramsey. Neom's boarding down, has he? Referee points to the spot. Well, Neom can't quite believe it, but he's nowhere near the ball. And I'm not quite sure Ramsey's going anywhere. And he's just tried to shove him out. And we're only talking a couple of inches actually on the pitch, but I think it's the right call.
Yeah, I mean, he's going nowhere. I won't say nowhere, Ramsey. He does well to get on the outside, but for me, Neom's recovered. There's no need for Neom to shoulder charge him out, and it's not allowed. It's not part of the game now. I mean, it's not a shoulder charge anyway, is it? It's an arm and everything across him, a shove. But it's not part of the game. But why he's making that challenge now? He's talked himself into a booking, and up until that point, he's having a good game. He's trying to explain to Bobby Madley, he's just I put my arm across him. But you're in the box, son. You can't do that. You know, you should be aware of where you are. Ramsey has just turned you. You've recovered. Just stay on your feet. You've got a defender coming in to block that near post ball. Stay on your feet. You've ended up putting your team in a bad position now.
Well, Ben Foster hasn't saved a penalty since January 2015. He's up against Alex Lacazette here. And Lacazette, for his second and Arsenal's second, finds the corner, clinically dispatched. The Gunners have got a bit of breathing space here. Mistake from Neom. And Arsenal have punished the Baggies here. It is Arsenal 2, West Bromwich Albion 0.
Yeah, he's still cursing the referee, Neom, but, you know, it's a good penalty. You've got to say, it goes down to Foster's left. He hits the back corner. That's all you can ask for, along the ground. It's a good attempt by Foster to try and get it, but he's tucked it away lovely. Another neat finish. But Neom, really, we've got to go back to it, Dan. There's no need for him to make a challenge there. Absolutely none. Pulis will be pulling his hair out if he had any. He might have a little bit more than me, actually.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I don't know. He's got less. Stephen Sharp says, listening live from Perth, Western Australia, in my hospital bed after an ACL surgery. Please give me some merging to smile about. Gunners merging? Is that a typo, or have I just said something that I shouldn't really say? That says Steve. Well, hopefully we're giving you something to shout about, Steve. Hopefully your recovery, your rehabilitation goes well. Arsenal lead by 2-0. And well, West Brom have contributed here, but when you try and take on Arsenal for skill at the Emirates, there's usually only one outcome, as Alexis darts away from 2 challenges and then gets robbed by Rodriguez, who turns away from the Chilean. Still going forwards here, edge of the Arsenal penalty area, no real out ball, has to go all the way back for Kukoviak. Got an email from Darren saying, does Alexis look like his heart is in it tonight? Does it?
Well, it does when he's on the ball. I must say, you know, he's got a lot of effort, a lot of energy again. Some of his decision-making looks a bit selfish to me. Oh, great steal by Lacazette in the middle of the pitch.
Lacazette racing forward. What options has he got? Ramsey is one, Alexis is another. This is Alexis. It's cleared only as far as Elneny inside the penalty area. Back here towards Xhaka with a shot. Good block from Gareth Barry. And then Neom will pick it up, and West Brom have it again, and Rodriguez will turn and look to race away from Hector Bellerin. Rondon strays offside. Here is Rondon back in an onside position, cleared away by Arsenal. Wrong option there, or just crowded out, Lacazette?
Crowded out. I think it was a good option. I think he just fed the ball into Alexis's path. And really, it was going through the eye of a needle, really. You've got to give credit to West Brom, the way they recovered and got them back behind the ball. You know, that's what it's all about. Get yourself between the goal and the ball, and then it's down to the Arsenal. And they did close out Lacazette's options.
Erlin been on saying, great game, helping me through my bank reconciliation. We need that second, though. We needed that second, he said. bank reconciliation. I hope everyone's all right. Long for Lacazette here, takes it down brilliantly, still going, blazes over the crossbar. Chance from nothing, old-fashioned up and under, high into the Emirates night sky, brought down by Lacazette.
It weren't just a chance from nothing. Look at that, it's an interception by Alexis Sanchez, and before he got that ball down, he knew he wanted to kill that pass in. Lacazette brings it down okay, doesn't he? It's lovely. Foster's in no man's land now,
isn't it?
Yeah, and Foster goes to ground. He's really just got to side foot that in across the goal. That's when you want an Ian Wright there, because that would have been slid in the back of the net, definitely.
Yeah, terrific ball from Alexis. Not like it came from nowhere, but a perfectly placed and ball over the shoulder, high, coming down quickly. But he's done well there. Meanwhile, Rondon looked like he handballed there as he runs into Petr Cech. Well, the referee didn't see it, or if he did, he's waved. Play on. This is Kolasinac. Now it's with Mustafi back towards Petr Cech, and eventually to Koscielny. It's not as if Arsenal can breathe easily at the moment, because West Brom are still pressing. Their heads haven't gone down. Tony Pulis wouldn't allow it, but surely from here on in, David, 19 minutes remaining. I don't want to say the point's safe, but we're in a very strong position.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. We've quelled any attacks from West Brom this half, really. You've got to say Nacho Monreal's had a really good game at the back. Again, though, Alexis there just losing possession from the right-hand side, going from a much too difficult pass or passage of play. Sometimes he just needs to do the simple thing. You know, that'll keep people on his side. But you just can't deny the fact that he does worldy things, doesn't he? World-class things. That pass to Lacazette was a fantastic ball.
Free kick to West Brom, 18 and a half minutes remaining. And Ben Foster is going to take a free kick just inside his own half. He's way outside of his penalty area. Thumps it forward towards Rondon. Battles with Kolasinac, who wins that aerial duel. Barry will nod it back. And then towards Neon, and the ball goes out of play for another West Brom throw. Neon gets ready to take again, just steals a yard or two. Looks for Rondon inside the penalty area, still going forward. It's Mustafi who's across to clear behind. West Brom have a corner.
Now, and then he's working hard there, isn't he, trying to stop the ball into Rondon, but he is a right unit. You can see his physicality in there. They just need to get the ball into him. Could still cause problems. If they get a goal back now, it would give them a great boost going into this last 15 minutes.
In comes the corner to the far post, and it's just flicked away by Koscielny. It was an awkward header, but he needed to make it because Evans was stealing in round the back, and it's just a throw on the far side.
It was a good header because Rodriguez makes almost like a fake jump across the front first. He's never going to win the ball, but he does block Koscielny out a little bit. And as you said, Koscielny's got to make sure he gets that, because Johnny Evans was sniffing round the back there.
Here is Morrison. Substitution hasn't quite worked for West Brom. Tony Pulis is going to have to do something a little different, and it's going to be Matt Phillips who's going to come on shortly, stripped and ready. Krychowiak tries to knock it round the corner for Neon, but Kolasinac is there with a challenge. And I think we're going to see the end of Neon here with Matt Phillips coming on. And Tony Pulis is directing everything at the moment. Substitute, throw-in, the lot.
Know what was quite significant about that penalty, Dan?
Go on.
That was Arsenal's 100th in the Premier League.
Oh, there you go. There's a stat for you. 100th converted or 100th taken? Thrown that back at you there, haven't I? Here is Phillips, right-hand side, low ball in, but Petr Cech holds it well. Bit of pace on that. Just needed to have a little bit of curl, I think, didn't it? This is Alexis under real pressure, does brilliantly to find Ramsey. Now it's with Xhaka. Forwards here for Elneny. Looks for Lacazette, who spins away from his marker. He's on a hat-trick, of course, here. Alex Lacazette. And the shot fired in is wide of the target. Well, Granit Xhaka, who's been quietly influential tonight. Not necessarily been his game because he's been helter-skelter all around him, but he's held his position well. How's he performed for you?
Yeah, he's held his position well. He's not had too much up against him in that middle. He's been more of a director of play than having to enforce on the other team because of how they're playing. But I just keep going back to, I don't know why they have two in there. If he's going to sit deep and just let Elneny go, because I'm sure he can do that job in there. Sometimes for me, there's too many players in there. You know, he'll get the ball with Elneny 5-6 yards away and feel that he needs to give that pass to Elneny. When really, as a midfield player who plays in that position, I know sometimes if you just help it over your shoulder, you should have a forward coming off onto that. So I think it almost makes too many options for him in there sometimes. But he's had a steady game. His passing's been as good as it always is. He's been sharp.
Flick forward by Phillips towards Rondon. West Brom still have it. Rondon flicks it forward, caught there by Mustafi. No, wasn't caught by Mustafi. Morrison can't believe it. It's back towards Cech, and it's going to be Cech to release. Well, 8 times last season, Alex Lacazette managed braces for Lyon in all competitions. Only once from those, well, 9. I have to correct myself because he did score 1 hat-trick, 8 braces, 1 hat-trick. The treble coming against Nancy back in August of 2016. A 3-0 away success in the opening weekend of the Ligue 1 season. Can he get his maiden Arsenal hat-trick here? It's interesting, we heard from Kevin Campbell, didn't we? First hat-trick goal scorer in the Premier League for the Gunners. Will we see one from Alex Lacazette tonight?
And second.
Yes, and second, as we heard.
Yeah. Against Swindon, and Kevin, unless he researched that before, he's proud of them too. He's proud of them too.
Mate, you know what strikers are like. They will know every single goal.
Well, so do midfield players who only scored 2 in their career. They remember both of them. I don't know who I'm talking about here, but...
You got a favourite out of those 2, David?
Well, yeah, I have actually. It was against Liverpool, but then someone called Anders Limpar scored from 45 yards and took the shine right off of my goal, I've got to say. Fair play though, Anders. Just when I was about to get the glory, I thought, yeah, we'll beat Liverpool 1-0. It'll all be about me on the back pages, and then 2 other goals go in, and Anders scores a 45-yarder.
Long punt by Foster, looks to try and find Rodriguez. Mustafi is there. Cleared away by Arsenal. Morrison. Now it's with Krychowiak. Back now for Johnny Evans. 13 minutes remaining until full time. Arsenal, good value for their 2-0 lead at the moment. Alex Lacazette at the double. Joining the party, isn't it? A little bit. We've seen Morata score a hat-trick, of course. He's on 6 goals in the race for the Golden Boot. Lukaku still continues to score with 6 for Manchester United. We've seen Sergio Aguero. I think he's got 6 as well for Manchester City. All the big names finding their feet in front of goal, and Alex Lacazette not disappointing. That'll put him on to 4 for the season in the league, which ain't half bad for a newcomer. Morata scoring that hat-trick for Chelsea against Stoke, of course, but I'll tell you what, it's a great time to be a Premier League football fan with so much quality in terms of attacking talent. This is Monreal, great layoff from Alexis, still going, strong challenge from Johnny Evans, back to Alexis Sanchez, into the arms of Foster. I'm not quite sure if that was a shot from Alexis. I think he just tried to play it inside the box.
I think he's looking for Aaron Ramsey there, who'd made another good run between 2 of the 3 West Brom defenders. Just the execution again from Sanchez, not quite there.
Here is Alexis Sanchez once again. 12 minutes to go until a full time. Arsenal just slow it down. Are West Brom just running out of gas a little bit here, I wonder? Koscielny back here for Kolasinac on the left-hand side. Oh, and then a challenge from Dawson straight through Alexis Sanchez. And Dawson's on a yellow. Is he going to go?
He's lucky if he don't. He's very lucky if he don't, because...
I think he's going to go here. He's having to think about it, is Bobby Madley. He must know.
I think at 2-0, Bobby Madley doesn't want to do it. I think he doesn't want to do it.
He's got Gareth
Barry. He's going
across.
to his pocket, though. Is he? Or is that just a hand on his hip? He's been put in a really tough position here, because that is a challenge from behind on Alexis. It's not the first one.
Yellow card. I mean, I don't think he's going to get a yellow card. Oh, I tell you what.
Very lucky boy, Dawson.
I don't know why the circumstances of a game should dictate whether you get a yellow card or not. It's either a yellow card offence or it isn't.
They shouldn't. And whether a challenge is in the box or outside of the box, it shouldn't dictate the outcome. It's a breach of the rules, and it should be punished accordingly. It's about consistency.
Xhaka will get the free kick in, and then it's Mustafi who will knock it well wide of the target. Well, one thing we haven't seen, obviously, is an Arsenal change, and it's not that often that Arsene Wenger doesn't make a little bit of a change here. I would imagine when it comes to the likes of Ozil and Maitland-Niles, can we see on the well, not even warming up, just standing watching the game, and Olivier Giroud, I think they all could play maybe against Bate Borisov in the Europa League.
Yeah.
You know, why even give them 10 or 15 minutes? You know, they've done the training. You're going to get 90 or, you know, whatever out in Belarus. You know, this lot who play here the full 90, some won't travel, maybe most won't travel, none will start.
No, I think
maybe one will start. I don't know, maybe one of the centre halves.
We touched on the fact that these games, the way they're spread out, that they have been, cup games and league games, has quite suited the rotation of the squad. So I think players are probably more happy to not come on for 10 minutes here and have 80 minutes, or, you know, 75, 80 minutes from the start in a European tie. You know, it's about game time for these players. They want to show their craft and, you know, try and get back into the league side. But I think it suits them, and the manager's actually taken that on board. I think he is changing a little bit with regards to things like that.
This is Kolasinac towards Lacazette. It should be cleared away here by Morrison. In fact, he tries to nod it to the keeper. He gets himself in a bit of a mess, and then he gets the shot off. It's blocked and it's out for a corner. Having said all that, I think we might see an Arsenal change pretty soon. Is there a bit of movement on the Arsenal bench? I'm not quite so sure.
Yep.
It's Olivier Giroud. Got an email in from Hakeem I'll get to in just a second, talking about the need to play with two central midfielders or defensive midfielders. Short corner, Bellerin from the edge of the area takes another deflection out for another corner. Hit that with a bit of venom.
He did, didn't he? I think it just bounced up nice as well. He's about to strike it, first touch. Yeah, it's lovely, sitting up lovely for him, isn't it? I think it's Rodriguez. It looks like he gets the deflection and takes it over. We're going to see that Giroud substitution now. Will he get his 100th goal down?
Yeah, we're going to see Mesut Ozil as well. Always pleasure to see Mesut come on. So Giroud and Mesut Ozil about to come on as well. Alex Lacazette with a standing ovation. Giroud, who gets in the French side ahead of Lacazette, but other way around for Arsenal. And he knows that, yeah, you know, he scored 2 goals, but you just sense tonight it just means a little bit more. Giroud is on. Mesut Ozil's gone and sat back down again. Maybe he's not going to come on. Or maybe he's just not 100% ready yet. He is going to come on.
I think he just went down to get someone to pull his socks up a bit because they wasn't quite right.
Alexis is the player to come off eventually. He's taking his time. Mesut on. Alexis coming off. High fives between Ramsey and Alexis as the Chilean comes off. What about Alexis's performance tonight for you, David?
I rate his performance. I'd say I'd give him probably a 7. You know, on average, when he's at his best, and we saw him last season, I'd have said he's an 8.5 every game. Probably a 7 tonight, but you've got to remember it's his first start and in Premier League, and I think he's going to take a time to get back into things, and he just needs to get back doing the simple things. Sometimes by having 2 or 3 touches, he makes it look too difficult.
Here comes the corner, cleared away by West Brom, and the Gunners unable to try and poach a third. 7 minutes remaining. This is Xhaka forward towards Mustafi, who's stayed forward as a right winger at the moment after that corner. Now it's with El Neni, and eventually back towards Nacho Monreal. Mesut Ozil's positioned himself on the left-hand side, almost where he started his Arsenal career. Giroud's obviously gone up top, so like for like in terms of positioning, the two changes. This is Koscielny. Oh, was he caught there by Rondon? That was a bit awkward. That's going to be a free kick. I don't think it was malicious, but still, free kick deep inside Arsenal territory. Hakeem says we do need to play with 2 defensive midfielders. Firstly, we are quite bad off the ball and in transition. The 2 will give extra protection. It will also allow the wing-backs to get forward. If we lose possession, we should have at least 5 players behind the ball. Secondly, Xhaka, not really a defensive midfielder. He can't tackle or run. El Neni will give extra support. That's Hakeem's view on the lineup.
Well, I'll have to disagree there with Hakeem, because if you've only got one person up front or two people up front, you don't need 5 back marking them.
I think it depends on opposition, doesn't it? I think our argument, and I'm weighing in with you here, is that it's West Brom at home. If it's Chelsea away, might be a little bit different, or you say no?
I don't know. You look at the great sides. Maybe we're not technically good enough then to keep the ball and have those, without having those spare players at the back, to have that safety blanket. I see Barcelona or just leave 3 defenders back and say, do you know what, if you're going to stick 4 up, do you know how many defenders we're going to leave back? 3 still, because we're going to have 8 players or 7 players up the other end of the pitch terrorising you. So maybe it's because we haven't got the personnel that Hakeem thinks that's right. But just from my own personal point of view, I'd rather have a little bit of space in that position as a defensive midfield player, so that you feel like you've got an area to command. When you've got to share it with someone, it becomes difficult. It's a communications exercise then, and if it don't go right, it can go badly wrong.
Ozil, Giroud looking for Ramsey, flick for Kolasinac, might get another go here. Ozil still wants it, Kolasinac has it, back towards Mohamed Elneny, 25 yards out, plays it wide right, Hector Bellerin, 4 inside the area, one of them is Giroud, but he won't get there, cleared away by Dawson, and it's going to bounce out to that far side for an Arsenal throw. I'm in between Mr. Hillier and Hakeem here. I think home against West Brom, you do what you want. I think you can be a little bit more adventurous, but away from home, I'd be quite happy with the sort of setup that we've got tonight against tougher opposition. We will see how that bears out over the course of the campaign. Here is Mesut Ozil. Now it's with Ramsey. Tries to turn it back for Elneny. Now Kolasinac will take a touch. Eventually it's through towards Giroud. Back hit for Xhaka over the crossbar. Needs to keep his head over the ball.
Head over the ball. Strike with the front of your foot, not the side. You know, as soon as you start side-footing it, you're leaning back. And he's just tried to control that. He needs to drive that down into the ground. If it takes a deflection, whatever, as long as that gets on target. Giroud does really well for a centre-forward then. Really good backing in play. Just controls the ball down, lays it into Xhaka's path.
3.5 minutes remaining. 1-2 in the Emirates, heading for the exits here. Arsenal got a bit of defensive work to do here as Bellerin just tangles with a West Brom player. I can't quite see on that far side, mate. Well, it'll be Morrison. It's going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Well, this will go down as a decent win for the Gunners. West Brom have started pretty well in the Premier League. OK, they've lost away a little bit, but the fact that Arsenal didn't start well, obviously, defeats at Stoke and Liverpool. Those that question the club from outside the club wringing their hands and saying, well, we told you so, but Arsenal have got an awful lot of quality. Sometimes a lot of people forget about that, and they've showed it over the last few games. OK, only the Chelsea game against top quality opposition, but Premier League fixtures are difficult, as everyone is finding out, and the Gunners will be in the mix. This is Giroud through towards Ozil. Can't collect it. Back towards Foster.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dan. You know, you've got to give credit where credit's due to Arsenal. These teams come here with strict game plans on how to frustrate, how to squeeze as much out of the game as possible. They have managers who are driven in training. That, you know, they'll work them and work them and work them, drill them and drill them and drill them. And it's down to Arsenal to break these sides down. Arsenal, by their nature, just try and play football to do that, and try and do it with a footballing ethic, which can be difficult. But they've stood up and been counted tonight against a difficult West Brom side. I think the second half, bit of a disappointment from West Brom after they finished the first half as well. Been a lot quieter, a lot less aggressive on the ball, and an aggressive in the final third on the whole second half.
Free kick to West Brom here. 90 seconds remaining of the 90 minutes, and it comes. Dawson looks to flick it on. It'll fall towards Rondon on the right-hand side, or Phillips on the right-hand side. Steps away from one challenge, looks to try and find Evans. Difficult one for Evans. He's done well to get a touch on that. Phillips is making a bit of a mess of this. He's lost out to Kolasinac. Now it's with Elneny, and it should be cleared away. by the Gunners and Mustafi, and it is. And Ozil finds Giroud, and Giroud has got Ramsey on the far side. Giroud wants it back, takes the shot on early. Good stop from Foster. Oh, I thought he was going to play back towards Giroud.
Yeah, he's had his arms out wanting it, didn't he? But Aaron Ramsey had the goal in his sights. It was a decent ball from Giroud as he broke through, just a tiny bit behind Ramsey, but his first touch managed to get it in front of him, and he weren't giving up that shot. But Mesut Ozil on the left-hand side was making up a lot of ground as well after that really good 1-2 with Giroud on the halfway line.
Mesut Ozil, short for Kolasinac on this left-hand side, looking to sneak inside the box. The 1-2 with Ozil doesn't quite come off, or with Ramsey, I should say, doesn't quite come off. It's cleared by West Brom. This is Rondon looking to hold it up, turns away from Monreal, does well, the Venezuelan. Now it's with Phillips, who's a little off the pace since coming on. He has conspired to help West Brom lose the ball, and Xhaka will play it towards Ramsey, but Dawson just nods it back to Foster. Plenty of big games coming up, of course. Partey Borisov in the Europa League. Arsenal look to go 2 from 2. We're going to see Ainsley Maitland-Niles for the final minute or so. And then as we go into 3 minutes of added on time, it is Brighton at home. Early start on Sunday. Join us for that midday before a week off. Say a week off, it's a fortnight. It's international break, isn't it? Before we take on Watford away from home at Vicarage Road in that late kick-off. Then Crvena Zvezda, or a red star to most of us, in Europa League away before it starts to get a little tougher. Everton away on the horizon, Manchester City early November, Spurs at home, the first North London derby. And back end of November, I think we will find out just what sort of shape we are in for challenges on domestic and European fronts. Deep into an added on 3 minutes. I'm not quite sure if Ainsley Maitland-Niles is going to get on because the ball's not gone dead here. Here is Koscielny. Now it's with Mustafi. Ramsey calling for it, edge of the area. Here is Ramsey, tries to lay it off towards Mesut Ozil. It's cleared away only as far as Kolasinac, who slips. And then Phillips looks to drive forward. He's surrounded by Arsenal players. And that might go out for a corner here. Well, Ramsey has picked up a loose ball down by the corner flag. He's whipped in the cross towards Giroud. It's cleared away by Evans, and then Rodriguez knocks it down. Phillips will chip it forward. Rondon does well against Mustafi just inside the West Brom half here and lays it off for Morrison. Morrison coming forward. West Brom still on the hunt for a goal. Ainsley Maitland-Niles has been waiting there for 2 minutes to come on. Here is Phillips on the right-hand side looking to drive towards the byline. Can he get the cross? And it's a good block.
See, if Xhaka was any kind of a teammate, he'd kick the ball out now to get his teammate on so he can get his win bonus.
Giroud looking for Ozil, but Evans has just got first drop there, sprints away and gets there ahead of the German. I think Foster will clear.
I think it's the longest period of the game where the ball has not gone dead, isn't it?
He's not going to get on. He's not going to get on. This is Morrison. 4 minutes, I think he's been waiting for. I think one or two of the supporters have realised Vic Akers the kit man.
Vic started undoing his boots for him, taking his boots off.
Free kick, come on Ainsley,
here we go.
Now's your chance. Well, it all counts. It's another Premier League appearance. They'll probably get a bonus for this, don't they?
That's very cynical, Daniel.
I don't know if they do.
Yeah, probably. And a win bonus and an appearance, I reckon.
Oh, my God. I don't think.
He's only a young lad. He's probably on a really poor contract, like 500 quid a week or something. And he makes his money up by getting in the first, bit like I did. 200 quid a week, and my win bonus was more than that, if we won.
Ainsley Maitland-Niles is on. And he's got a bit of defensive work to do here because West Brom got a free kick. Low towards Rondon inside the area. Flag is up, Rondon penalised. Maitland-Niles is on for literally 4 seconds. The referee blows for full time. Arsenal have been good tonight. West Brom haven't been as poor as I thought they might be. They've come to certainly test Arsenal and show some ambition. Lacazette's goal from close range after Alexis's free kick hit the bar via way of Foster's fingertips. And then from the penalty spot in the second half when Ramsey was shoved over by Neom. West Brom had opportunities, certainly. Bobby Madley will court controversy because of the fact he didn't award West Brom a penalty. they continued and hit the post. If Jay Rodriguez had stayed down, they might have got the spot kick. They might have scored. We'll never know. They had opportunities in the first half, but it didn't work out for West Brom. But overall, you know, when the dust settles on the 90 minutes, I think Arsenal have been, you know, good enough to claim the 3 points in a 2-goal manner. Yeah,
Arsenal have had by far more attempts on goal. Dominated the second half, I've got to say. Real domination of not just the game, but they played it most